Hi, my name is Meredith Kuhn, and I'm a Teams and Fundraising Specialist for AIDS Walk San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining us for our 2019 AIDS Walk San Francisco webinar. Today we'll be discussing a little bit of the general info of the walk, some tips on how to fundraise, teams and what it means to be a team leader, how to register and how to recruit some team members, and a whole bunch more. But if you do have any questions about the things we talk about today, or questions about some of the things we may not talk about, always feel free to give us a call at 415-615-9255. Or if you prefer to email, you can email us at awsfteams@aidswalk.net. That's awsfteams@aidswalk.net. Well, all right, I think that's enough of an introduction. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's just start with some general information, some of the basics. AIDS Walk San Francisco will be taking place on Sunday, July 14th. It'll be happening in Sharon Meadow in Golden Gate Park. It is a 10-kilometer walk, which takes about 2 to 3 hours, and there will be a complete timeline of the day up on our website. This year's primary beneficiaries are Project Open Hand, PRC, and we are proud to announce that Ward 86 and its new pop-up clinic are also co-beneficiaries for this year's walk. Ward 86 was the country's first dedicated AIDS walk clinic and has been a trailblazer since the earliest days of the epidemic. Now they've actually just launched its HIV pop-up clinic, which stands for Positive Health On-Site Program for Unstably Housed Populations. And this is designed to provide urgently needed, flexible, low barrier, and comprehensive medical care for this community. So we're very excited to be working with all of these people. So it's also important to know that registration is completely free and there is no fundraising minimum. However, we do encourage everyone to set a goal and do their absolute best to achieve it. We find that people who set higher goals are more likely to achieve them and to motivate others to set their goals even higher. And additionally, fundraising walkers for AIDS Walk San Francisco are eligible for fundraising awards, including t-shirts if you raise 150, hats if you raise 500. You get one pass for our post-walk show for $200 and two passes for $300. And the post-walk show is going to be so much fun, so you really don't want to miss that. And also, those who raise $1,000 or more become one of our elite Star Walkers who receive additional awards and other special perks, but we will actually be talking about Star Walkers a little bit later. All right, and let's go on to some important dates. Wednesday, July 3rd will be your team meeting station deadline. A team meeting station is kind of a central hub for you and your team if you have more than 25 members or more. It's where you guys can meet up in the morning, sign in, get ready, and get ready to walk as a team. So again, that deadline will be July 3rd. And if you do have a team meeting station and you would like some things dropped off at your table or at your station, you will also need a drive-on pass. And that drive-on pass deadline will be Friday, July 5th. On July 8th to July 11th, the interim team rosters will be sent. So it'll just be a couple days before the walk, and we'll send them out and give you a list of everyone on your team, how much they've raised, and all that information. And this is a really good way to encourage and motivate your walkers. If they haven't quite reached their goal yet, or if they're just a couple dollars behind, it's a good way to give them that extra boost of encouragement. But the actual last day to fundraise is Friday, August 9th. So we will be accepting donations, cash, check, card, PayPal, all of that, up until Friday, August 9th. And then after that, about a week or two later, we will be sending out those final team rosters, which lists the final totals of everyone on your team. So you can send out congratulations, you can send out good job emails, all that at that point. All right, so these are all important dates, important to know, important to write down, and refer back to whenever you need. So let's move on to our main objective, which is fundraising. So like I said, we do encourage people to set a high goal. We find people who set higher goals, motivate others to set their goals higher, motivate people to donate more to them, and just show how really dedicated they are to the walk. So if you do set your goal for $1,000 or more, you will be a part of our Elite Star Walkers Club. And those who achieve this goal will receive additional awards, recognition, and an all-access Star Walker Pass on the day of the walk. With the pass, Star Walkers will enjoy a hot breakfast, photo booth, and much more at the exclusive Star Walker Breakfast. Star Walker Breakfast is a great way to start off your day, drink some mimosas, hang out with some other Star Walkers, and it's just always a lot of fun. You will also receive express sign-in on the day of the event. You'll get all official AIDS Walk incentive awards and prizes, the limited edition 32nd annual AIDS Walk SF pin and the Star Walker commemorative pin, and you'll receive tickets to our post-walk show, which is always a great time, a lot of fun, and you really don't want to miss it. But we also have a program for those people who cannot physically be at the walk, and that is our virtual walker program. Our virtual walker program is ideal for someone who is unable to actually be there, but still like to register, fundraise, and receive awards. We do encourage virtual walkers to wear a red ribbon and to post on social media to show that you stand with the AIDS Walk San Francisco community. So this is a great way for you to continue to be a part of the walk if you can't physically be there. If you have a group of people at your work who would like to help fundraise but cannot actually be at the event, you can consider forming a virtual team. All right, so let's get on to how to fundraise. So there are a couple different ways that we can go about fundraising. The first way I'm going to be talking about is fundraising online. So the first step to fundraising online is to set up your fundraising headquarters. So this should be the first thing you see when you log in, and you can do quite a few things here. You can create a custom URL, enter a profile picture, create a personalized message that'll show up on your page. And this is just a great way for donors to get to know a little bit more about who you are, why you walk, and what they're donating to. So it's important to get all this updated and personalized and ready to go. So after you set up your fundraising headquarters, you can move on to sending out some emails. So the first step to doing that is to import your contacts. So you can do that by going to Contact Book, Import Contacts, and choosing from a list of email providers that we have. That will import all your contacts from that email provider, or you can manually enter them. This is also where you will find previously sent emails and contacts from past years, so you can always pick them again. So once you have all your contacts, you can move on to writing your email. You can either use one of our templates that we have, which we have special thanks to donors. We have thank you to your sponsors, halfway to fundraising goal for potential donor outreach, and a sponsor me email. Or you can choose to write your own personalized message. So if you do go on to write your own personalized message, we have some tips. Just remember to mention what your goal is, why do you walk, where the funds go, and let them know a little bit more about how they can donate, where they need to go to do that. It's just important to make it personal. Let them know your story, why you're walking, why it's important to you, and why it should be important to them. So you can also fundraise online by sending out a social media post. You can expand your reach by promoting yourself and your team on your social media, and you would be very surprised on who you can reach doing that. We have people who get most of their money from social media, from people that they haven't talked to in years. It's just a great way to really spread the word. And if you do post on social media, feel free to use our hashtag AIDSWalkSF, or you can tag us at AIDSWalkSF. And we're on pretty much everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that jazz. And LinkedIn is a great way to connect with people from your company. So we do encourage using that. Another great way to fundraise is to fundraise by planning an event. This is great for teams and individuals. In fact, one of our top walkers organizes a fundraiser every year where most of his money comes in. And it's always a ton of fun and a great way to meet people in your community and to raise a lot of money along the way. So here are some tips if you do choose to plan one of these fabulous fundraisers. We encourage you to get a committee. It's great if you can do this by yourself, but we always encourage appointing some helping hands. Different people can bring different qualities to the table, so you can bounce ideas off of each other and ensure that everything runs smoothly from start to finish. So once you have your committee all together, it's time to choose an event. It's important to think about the type of people or the group that you're inviting to this event. If it's a high school group, maybe organize a bake sale or a talent show. If it's with your coworkers, maybe have a happy hour or silent auction. And also utilize the people that you have in your group. If they're good at baking or if they're very crafty, maybe you can have some sort of silent auction. Pretty much anything people would have fun at, because where people are having fun, that's where they're going to donate their money. So after you've chosen the event, it's time to go on to the location, date, and time. So it's important to find somewhere that's centrally located to accommodate any type of plan you have. We work with local bars, clubs, coffee shops, or other gathering places. Again, remember your target audience. So maybe don't go too far outside the city if you're inviting all of your coworkers. Maybe somewhere that's close by, somewhere that's after work. And it's important to also avoid major holidays, unless you're having some sort of 4th of July kickoff, which could be tons of fun. Maybe keep some days free. And make sure you give your guests plenty of time, plenty of forewarning, so they can make accommodating plans. So after you have all of that set up, it's time to promote. You can use Facebook, email, social media, or physical flyers to get the word out. We encourage creating a Facebook event and to keep people informed that way. Send them reminders and a heads up the day of the event or the day before the event is always a very good idea. If you are going to have an event, you make sure to tag us because we'll be able to promote your event and get even more people there and donating. So after you've done all of this, it's finally the event day. On the day of the event, make sure you post plenty of pictures and encourage those who couldn't come to donate online. And also make sure you talk to some other patrons of the event space you're at. You never know who you might be able to come in, who might want to join the event or donate, or who you might meet there. So also afterwards, it's also important to thank your attendees and thank your committee. A successful event could not have happened without them, and it really does just show how much you care and how much you appreciate all that they've done for you, and it encourages them to keep donating year after year and to keep supporting you. All right, so let's move on to matching gift donations. First of all, what is a matching gift donation? A matching gift is a donation made by a corporation or foundation on behalf of an employee. The donation matches the contribution made by that employee to a nonprofit organization. Matching gift programs provide an opportunity for companies to acknowledge causes and organizations of interest to their employees while giving back to the communities in which they operate. Matching gifts are an effective way to encourage a company's employees to give and thus expanding the base of contributions to a nonprofit. Matching gifts are an increasingly vital resource because they have the ability to double, triple, or even quadruple an individual's contribution. We do have a search engine on our website where you can see if your employers have a matching program. However, you should speak with the Human Resources Department directly. Every company's policy is different, so it's important to check. Some will raise up to a certain amount, some will match dollar for dollar, so it really depends. So it is important, again, to talk to your Human Resources Department. Now, say your company does not have a matching donation. Well, you can still do an informal employee gift matching. This is big. We see this in schools a lot. We see this in some smaller organizations. And all you have to do is go up to a boss, CEO, or any company executive and see if they will match. Again, this is informal, so it can be dollar for dollar. It can be more. It can be less. It can be any ratio you agree on. Just feel free to ask. So after you have your matching gift donation, once you have all the paperwork filled out, Please forward all the matching gift info to matchinggift.sf@aidswalk.net, or you can send it right to your fundraising specialist. And also, please remember to include the dollar amount of the match, the donor's name, and the walker's name where it will be allocated. All right. So let's move on to recruiting your team. So you'll have a couple different roles as a team leader. The first would be to appoint a co-leader or a committee. Again, we always advise to appoint a co-leader. It just helps share the load, and it's someone to bounce ideas off of, and just someone to generally help along the way, make sure everything runs smoothly, and make sure that the team is doing the best that it can possibly be. The next is to organize fundraisers, which you talked on a little bit earlier. And again, fundraisers are a great way to expand your base, to meet new people, get new people to join your team, and to get more donors. Also, it's important to know facts and dates. You'll be the point of contact for your team members, so I'm sure they'll be coming to you with a lot of questions. They'll need to know a lot of info, so it's important to have this information on hand, just so you can pass it right off to them and get them all set for the walk. It's also important to motivate your team. Send out emails, incentives, make sure everyone feels included and are doing their absolute best for you and your team. And the last thing you'll have to do as a team leader is to register walkers for your team, which we will be talking about right now. So there are a couple different ways that you can register people for your team. The first way you can do that is to send your team members' information to your fundraising specialist. All we will need for that is a full legal name and a valid email address. But we can also enter a phone number, mailing address, t-shirt size, and a goal amount to the registration. But at the very least, we do need the full legal name and an email. You can send this within a list, an Excel sheet, whichever way is easiest for you. And if you email them over to us, we can get them all registered for you and ready to walk. You can also send a Join My Team link directly to people via email, social media, or any messaging app. You can send it here via your fundraising HQ. You can send this kind of email, the other emails that we talked about, and that will lead them straight to your page where they can sign up and register themselves. And here is also the team web page link. So if you are logged in, just so you're aware, this button, the Join My Team, will not show up. But if you're logged out, I promise you it's there. The easiest way that I say to go about doing this is to log out, click Join My Team, copy and paste the URL, and send that out to people. And so when they click that, they can go directly to your team's webpage link and register themselves from there. The next way to do that is you can get a team roster from previous years. If you email us and ask us for that, we can send that over to you, and then you can just indicate who will and won't be returning for this year. You can always call us, and we can be happy to help you out that way. The number is 415-615-9255, and we can also help you with any other type of registration you're doing, or any other questions you may have. Always feel free to reach out. And the last way, if you're having some sort of tabling event, or if you're having a fundraiser, this is probably the easiest way, is a team registration form. So you can find this at Team Central, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But all you have to do is fill it out, enter your team name or number right up here at the top, make a couple copies of that, and have them fill it out as they're entering or as they're donating, or just have a couple on hand if people want to sign up. After they've all been filled out, you can scan and email them to us or fax it to us, and we can get them all registered. And again, with that, all we need is a full legal name and the email address. They don't have to fill out the address, but it is always helpful. It's also important to remember with registration forms that any information that is illegible or incomplete, i.e. no email address, will not be registered. So if you have sent some over to us and you're not seeing them, that might be a possible reason. Alrighty, so let's talk about some tools and resources that you have. The first and most important is your Team Central. This is where you can find all of your resources, all your recruitment information. This is where you'll find the registration form, important dates and deadlines, your team leader kit, which has some more in-depth information, and it also would be where you order your promotional materials. So let's talk about promotional materials for a minute. Right now we have some posters, we have some stands that look just like this, and the stands are a little bit thicker cardboard material so they can stand up on desks in offices, and the stands also come with a pack of promo cards with your team's number on them, so people can take that, have all the information, and they can register or donate later along the line. The best ways to order them is to order online through the link. You can call your fundraising specialist again at 415-615-9255, or you can email awsfteams@aidswalk.net. Another thing you can order for your team are t-shirts, which will be provided by our carrier, Custom Tees. The order form for that is back on Team Central right here. And it's a great way for you and your team to look cohesive, put together, and like a team. So again, here are some important dates. Again, Wednesday, July 3rd for team meeting station deadline. Friday, July 5th, drive-on deadline. July 8th to the 11th is the interim team roster sent. Friday, August 9th is the last day to fundraise, and those team rosters will be sent out in mid-August. So again, these are very important. Make sure you know these. Make sure they're written down or printed out or somewhere handy for you just in case, because these are the big ones. Alrighty, so again, feel free to contact your fundraising specialist at any time. The number will be 415-615-9255 or awsfteams@aidswalk.net. We'll be waiting here, ready to help and ready for whatever you need. Alrighty, so that just about does it. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything that you might have heard or maybe something that you didn't hear, you can always reach out to us at 415-615-9255 or awsfteams@aidswalk.net. We'll be happy to help you out with whatever you need and get you all set to walk. Well, thank you so much for coming and listening to the webinar, and we look forward to seeing you at the walk. Thanks so much. Take care.